Getting paid once a month is rough, but here's 3 good things I've learned after living in Sweden. I'm just not used to it. One of the biggest things that has affected me after living in Sweden for over the last 3 years is getting paid once a month. And this has to be one of the most impactful cultural shocks that I've had living here in Sweden. While I was living in the US, my monthly payments would be split into 2 payments. My first check or my first payment will come in the middle of the month and my last check will come at the end of the month. While I was living in the US, I would just use the first half of my check to pay off my rent, which is the biggest expense, and the second part of my check to basically pay off like electricity, heat, and subscriptions like Netflix. Nothing really big. But as I've been living here in Sweden, it's very different. You get paid once a month, and that's usually on the 25th of each month. So meaning that I would have to then think long term about how much money I'm spending and how much money I'm putting out. Usually about like 45% or 40% of my check will usually go towards my bills at the 25th of the month. And then I have another, I guess like 55% or 50% of my pay to kind of decide how I want to live for the rest of this month. But the good thing about it is that, one, I learned how to think long term. I learned how to save. And I also learned about priorities. And this is kind of a benefit of living in Sweden, I would have to say. Like usually in the US, you kind of get your money and every 2 weeks you're out doing your thing, spending it. But not here in Sweden. I usually notice that everyone goes out on the 25th and they kind of wait for that time of the month to kind of spend their money because they knew they were getting some money back. But again, you know, it's still kind of a culture shock for me. And I'm not sure if anyone else kind of agrees with this or don't agree with this, but I don't know which one I prefer more, if I prefer the US style of payment or the Swedish style of payment. Let me know what you think.